Chat GPT-4 is absolutely amazing. I was able to do something that I've wanted for years, never found it, and in about 10 minutes, I got it figured out with Chat GPT-4. I am so stoked about this that I can't even wait until nighttime and do the whole lighting setup. I'm just doing this right now because I want to show you what incredible things you can do with Chat GPT-4. Let's dive in. Years ago, my mentor, James Randi, taught me how to memorize a deck of cards. He taught me how to associate a particular playing card with an image that was really distinctive, and you can go through a deck of cards and connect each one with the one that comes after it. So in that way, you can start with the first card and then work your way all the way through the deck, playing this video in your head, and the images that connect from here to here to here to here tell you what the sequence of playing cards is. It's really cool. It's actually a lot easier than you might imagine. And that was the beginning of me putting together a memory course that's on Savant University. So if you're interested in that, cool, go check it out. But this is about memorizing a deck of cards. And the cool part about using linking is that it's very simple, very straightforward. The challenge, though, is being able to know which card is at which number. What position is it in the deck? You can't do that with linking. If you wanted to know what the six of diamonds and where that is, linking can't do that because you have to start at the first card, which reminds you of what the second card is, which reminds you of the third card. So you'd have to start at card number one and then work your way through counting on your fingers the whole time, and it's not very efficient. So if you want to memorize a deck of cards, not just the sequence forward, but also backwards, and you want to know what card is before or after a particular card, you have to train all of those kinds of things separately. So that's the program that I've always wanted, but never actually found. There are any number of memory trainers on the App Store and all those kinds of places, but none of them train those four things: frontwards, backwards, card before, card after. And those are the four things that I want to try and never got to do properly. And that's what I got ChatGPT to do. My first idea is to use ChatGPT 3, the free version, as my personal assistant. I would tell it, here's what I want to remember, here's what I want you to ask me about, and it would do that. So let me show you what that looked like and what happened from there. The first thing, I told it, I'm going to give you a list of playing cards and their positions. Now I want you to ask me about which position this card is at and which card is at this position, which card is before this card or which card is after this card. Tell me aye if you are ready. And it said right here, you bet. I'm ready to remember the playing card values and positions and ask you questions about them. Please go ahead and give me the list. So this is the list of playing cards that I am working with. So I just gave it all the numbers and cards and it says, got it, memorized it, great. And then it started asking me questions. And it said, sure thing, which card is at position 20? 5 of clubs. Great, here's another question. So as I would get it correct, it would say, yep, you've got it, and then move on. And then I started wondering, okay, what about giving it different types of card answers? Because as you can see, as I scroll back up here, I gave it as a very shorthand card name, like 10 of hearts would be 10H, Queen of clubs is QC. It's a very, very terse shorthand way of explaining which card is which. And then I thought, well, let's get clever. Let me give it 10 of clubs here, all spelled out. And it understood exactly. It says, yep, that's correct. And it's asking me position questions and all this kind of stuff. It's fantastic. And then I got one wrong. I intentionally gave it a wrong one just to see what it would do. And then it says, I'm sorry, I think there may have been some confusion with the previous question. Let me rephrase, because it couldn't believe that I got one wrong. And I was I just told it, if I get it wrong, just say try again. I don't want a long-winded answer. I just want to know that I didn't get it right. And it says, you bet, the correct answer is position 46. And I'm like, okay, give me another question. And then it asked me which card comes after the 4 of diamonds, and I misunderstood what it what it meant. And then I said, which position is the queen of diamonds at? 4th. It is 4th. And then it says, I'm sorry, that's not correct. The queen of diamonds is actually at the 4th position on the list. Try again if you like. So I then put in 04 instead of 4th, and it said, okay, that's correct. So it was starting to have some trouble understanding 4th, 04 position, and this is where it starts losing track of the conversation and where we were. And I also wanted it to stop giving me the right answer. I wanted it to give me 2 chances to give it the correct answer. And then I said, just tell me try again and don't give me the answer until I get it wrong a second time. And it goes, understood. The correct answer is the 2 of hearts. So I ignore it. Let's keep going. This is where it gives me the first real wrong answer. It says, which card comes before the jack of spades? And I say 8 of clubs. And then it says, I'm sorry, that's not correct. The 8 of clubs actually comes after the jack of spades in this list. The card that comes before the jack of spades is actually the 7 of clubs. Try again if you'd like. And I went to double check my work. So I say, correction, the 8 of clubs comes before the jack of spades in the list. You are mistaken. And it says, oh, I apologize for the mistake. Thank you for correcting me. You are indeed correct that the 8 of clubs comes before the jack of spades in the list. Well done. And this is where I'm realizing that using Chat GPT 3 as my full-time memory assistant is not going to work. By now, I am kind of outside its memory parameters, and now it's just making stuff up as I'm asking. And it's giving me more correct answers. And I again say, when I get a question wrong, please don't include the right answer. Only say try again. And it's just always giving me the right answer instead of giving me 2. So it's at this point that I'm getting a little frustrated with it, and I decide, you know what, let me just make an app or a program, but I have 0 programming skills. I have no clue how to do this, and let me try to do that here with Chat GPT 3. I will show you what that looks like right now. To do that, I am going to click over here into Cards Memory Game. And this is the whole conversation that I had with it. And basically I say, I want you to create a program that helps me test my memory, but I'm not a programmer. I have 0 programming experience, but I am a little familiar with HTML. And it says, well, we're going to build a simple Python program. I have no clue how Python works, none of that. And it says HTML won't be needed since we'll be working in Python. And it gives me a basic structure of the program, and it gives me an example sequence of playing cards starting with the Ace of Hearts. And I ask it, well, can I give you the list of cards and positions? Which I do right here. And then it starts making the modified code, which is pretty cool. It's really, really neat. So then it outlines all the stuff that I would need to know, and and it just kind of stops. So then I ask it, well, what happens next? What do I do? And it's explaining that we need to create a dictionary. I have no clue what any of this means. And then I would like you to update the Python code to include a function that asks me what card comes after a given card too, because it was just giving me the sequence of cards and what that would look like in Python. It's not giving me the whole program. It's just giving me piecemeal, and I have no idea how to put this all together. So then it's saying, oh, okay, so you wanted me to do the thing. Well, here it is. Here's what it actually looks like. And I have no clue what this looks like. Now, it's here that it's telling me to create a a file here called memory underscore test.py, which is a Python script. Okay, cool. Well, I did that. Instead of showing you all of this in real time, I'm just going to explain what I did. So I know enough to know that using something like text edit on Mac, I can put in the code and then save it. Instead of a .txt file, I can save it as a .py file, and then it will work. So what I did was I went to terminal, which is the command line, and I'm just familiar enough with coding to know that that's where I needed to go. So I went to where I had stored this Python file and did what it asked me to do, and then it starts working. But the weird thing is that I'm asking it, ask me a question, and then it asks me kind of like, what position is the 6 of diamonds? And then I would say 26 or whatever it is. And then it would say, I'm sorry, the right answer is the 7 of hearts. And it was asking me position questions, but expecting a card input. So it's kind of working in the right direction, but it's goofy. It's really weird. It's not working the way that I would imagine. And it's at this point, it's explaining how to do all this stuff. And at first, oh yeah, it didn't even... It didn't run because I didn't have the right dependencies installed. And then it told me, oh, here's how you install the dependencies, which is really cool. Here are the other tools you need on your computer to make what I just gave you work. So I went through this whole hoops of installing the dependencies just to get this goofy program working. And it's at this point where I'm getting error messages, and this is more than I really wanted to do, but I really wanted it done, so I keep working at it. And by the end, I'm realizing that this program that Chat GPT 3 made for me technically runs, but it does not work correctly, and it's not smart enough to figure out how dumb I am. So it's not going to give me the program that I need without me knowing more than I know already. And it's at this point that I realize, okay, let's talk about Chat GPT 4. This is what I asked it to do. I have a little familiarity with HTML. I'm a little familiar with CSS, and I have no clue how in the world JavaScript works. And that's what I'm going to ask for here to do for me. And I give it the parameters of the program that I want it to make for me. And I'm giving it examples, what card is at position 27 on the list, and those kinds of things. And it says, great, I'll guide you through creating the program step by step. First, let's create the main structure of the HTML file, which I can understand here a little bit because I used to hand code HTML back in high school. So I get that, okay, here's the head of it, and then here's the body of it, and then close HTML. So this is simple enough that it makes sense to me. And it said, and it explains what it's doing in case I didn't know what it was, that it's setting up a simple web page with a title and those kinds of things. And it also says, it also links to a CSS file for styling and a JavaScript file for functionality, which is needed for it to do what I need it to do. So create these two files in the same folder as your HTML file. So it's telling me where to save these files and to do it here on my laptop. And then it says, well, let's create the CSS file to add some basic styling and add the following code to your styles. And then here's the JavaScript functionality. Add the following code to your JavaScript file. So I go, all right, let's do this. So I copy code. I then switch over to text edit, create a new one, paste in the code, then save it as, we'll say HTML or memory test.html. HTML. There we go. And we'll save it there and close that out. And then the next one is the CSS, which needs to be called styles.css. So we'll copy the code, create a new one, paste that in, save it as styles.css, save it, close that out, and then come down here, copy code, go back to the text edit, paste that in, save it here as scripts.js, and save that. So now we should have a working thing, but it says the program doesn't ask me any questions. So then it says add the following code after the previously provided JavaScript code. Oh, so here's everything that you should have told me to begin with. Let me copy that, go back here. We'll open the scripts file and then enter it as I just pasted in the extra stuff, and we'll close that out. And it also told me that, okay, it asked the necessary functionality and that kind of good stuff. So let's try this out. We'll go to Finder and then open memory test. And wait a minute, this is what I saw. And in just those like 2 tweaks, it works. So what card is at position 33 on the list? I don't know, because if we go back to the card program, we can see, okay, so 1, 2, 3, instead of counting, so we're looking for 33, so this would be 26, and then 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So 7 of clubs is the 33rd card. Let's try it. And I get this very confusing example where it says incorrect. The correct answer is 7 of clubs, which I just put in 7 of clubs, and then I realize, oh, I get it. It needs to be exactly the same capitalization. So let's see, which card comes before the 3 of diamonds? So I'm assuming that in this dummy list that it gave me, it's looking for 2 of diamonds, capital D, boom, there it is, correct. So in just those 2 tweaks, I have a fully functioning program that asks me the 4 kinds of questions that I want, and it's perfect. So now I know that the JavaScript is doing what it needs to do, and now I can put in the specific list of cards that I'm looking for. There we go. So now I don't understand any of what I'm looking at, but I do know that this right here, these are the playing cards. So now all I need to do is swap out the sequence of playing cards that I'm working on with these, and it's exactly what I am looking for. Through the magic of editing, we're going to make that happen right now. And there we have it. I have my specific list of cards outlined here. So now all I need to do is save this, Command S, then come over here, refresh the page, and then what card comes after the Queen of Diamonds? Let's see, it should be the 3 of Hearts, and click Submit. There it goes. So now I can test my particular sequence of cards just exactly the way that I've always wanted it. And there are a couple little things that I would like to tweak, which is I can't hit enter. Let's see, what position is card 8D at? We'll say 35. I don't think that's correct, but I'm just making it up just to show you. I'm going to hit return, and it won't work. So then I have to click submit, and then it says incorrect. The correct answer is 21. Okay, and then what card comes before the 6 of Hearts? And then that would be the 4 of clubs. So if I do it capitals, okay, nope, it should be the 5 of spades, right? So it's easy for me to know if I get it right or wrong. And this is fully functional, but I'd like to be able to hit enter. I would like it to not look for the correct capitalization. So then as I'm coming back through, this is everything that I was looking for. And then there's an edge case where when it asks me what card comes after the last card, I would like it to expect the first card. And when it asks me which comes before the first card, I would like it to expect the last card as the answer. and then it updates the functionality here, and then I update my JavaScript file with that, and then I say I would like to hit enter to submit my answer, as well as click the button. And then it tells me what to add and where, and go, okay, great. I made some changes because I added a little bit of cosmetic changes. So this is the new HTML that I have. Then go back to here and then refresh, and this is what it looks like. And then I also made some changes to the CSS because I wanted it to look a little different. So copy these, and now we go back to text edit and open recent, which is the style sheet. And instead of keeping it this way, let's paste in the stuff that I added by hand, saved it, then go back here, refresh, and voila. Now it looks different because I had updated the CSS, which is, here's how I want my HTML to look. So now I've got it looking like I want it to look, and it works the way that I want it to work. I can hit enter, and I don't need to worry about capitalization because I'm having a conversation with Chat GPT 4. And then these are all the things that I would like to do. And then I go, you know what? If I'm memorizing more than one deck of cards, can I have it keep track of which sequence is which? And it says, you betcha, here's how to do it. And then it gives me the updated code. And then it explains exactly what I need to do. And then I'm like, well, where do I add the sequence in the JavaScript? And then it says at the very beginning. So it is a tutor teaching me what I should be doing and where. I still don't understand a thing about how JavaScript works, but it's at least telling me what I need to know to get done what I want it to do. And that's what this whole conversation is about. And then it's giving me the whole thing that I need to update. And here's the HTML with the changes, so that now there's a little drop down of here's the sequence that you want. Now, the fact that this is HTML and JavaScript and CSS means that all of this stuff that currently lives on my computer that I am accessing through my Finder and doing that here, well, I can put this on my website. So now, after figuring all this stuff out, I say, I'd like to put this on my website. I'm running WordPress and I use Bricks Builder. Any ideas on how I would do that? And then it tells me step by step how to do this. So I do that. I go to Jonathan Pritchard, memory tester, and here it is. Here's what it looks like after tweaking it. I'll save you all of that. But now this lives on my website, and I can pick which one I want, the good one, harmonica, or arson. And if you are a magician or a mentalist, you know exactly what these are. You don't know what the good one is because not a lot of people use it. I use it, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. But you know what the other two are. So if you're a magician or a mentalist and you want to practice, well, you can come here and you can figure it out. So let me show you what an incorrect one is. What card comes before the Jack of clubs? We'll say it's the 4 of spades. Sorry, no, it's the 10 of spades. And card number 12, 9, 10, 11, that would be the 10 of spades. Hey, correct. And it'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And this, since it's on my website, I can do this from my browser. I can do it from my phone. I can do it from your phone. You can do it from your phone or your browser. So this is live and out there. And if you want to know how, if you want to practice which cards are in which order, which card comes before or after the cards, and you really want to test your memory, this is here. It's all because of Chat GPT 4 and me being able to put the pieces it gave me in the right spot without having to understand a thing about how it actually all works. So this is just as much magic to me as it might be to you, and I am really stoked to share this with you. This is a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to show you all the steps that I went through and how simple they were for me to get a result that I wanted. And most of the hassle was working with ChatGPT 3, who couldn't do what, I just called it who instead of it. Weird. Anyway, it has taken me longer to explain what I did than it took me to actually do what I did to get the finished product that you are looking at. So if you have some idea of something that you would like to create, but you have no idea how to code, I strongly suggest that you pay the $20 to try it for a single month and see what ChatGPT 4 can do for you. So if you want to try this out yourself and to use the memory trainer, go to memdecktrainer.com, and that will forward you to the right page on my website. And if you want more weird videos about technology, influence, sales, all the kinds of things that psychology can help you with, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Tell me what you're going to be working on in the comments. And in the meantime, highly suggest that you check out this video, subscribe to the channel, like I said. And as always, remember, if you can change your mind, you can change your life.